So I have something to share with you. When I've been playing PvP matches and I get Elo, which is shown as the form of a crown on the Triumph screens, I normally get between about 10 and 30 crowns, depending upon the type of people that I play against. People that are around my rank or even slightly higher than my rank, which is currently Private 3, I get up to 30. But anyone that's like unranked or Private 1 even, I'm getting like 10 Elo. Now, it is possible to play a PvP match and get like 1 Elo, and sometimes maybe even 0 Elo. I've not really confirmed the 0 Elo thing, but definitely 1 Elo is possible. Now, people seem to still not understand what Elo actually means. So, it's basically a score of the underdog. A person that's unranked basically is not expected to win against someone who is like Private 3 even, or like much higher. So what happens in this case is if you're like a Lieutenant 3, for example, which is the last rank before the Fallen Arena, if you are Lieutenant 3 and you lose against someone who is unranked, you lose a lot of Elo because you were expected to win that match. There is an Elo difference of 1,600. Now, this means that if you were to win that match, you don't actually get a lot of Elo, which is unlike what happens if you lose the match. No, if you were to win that match, you would only get maybe 1 or 2 Elo. In fact, I probably think you get 0 Elo from that. However, if you were the unranked person, you probably wouldn't lose. Well, you can't lose, actually, a lot of Elo because you're ranked 0. But even if you were a Private 1, for example, I don't think you would lose that much Elo. You may lose like 1 or 2, but you certainly wouldn't lose like 50 or something. However, if you were to unexpectedly win that match, bearing in mind that you're like a Private 1, coming against a Lieutenant 3, you would actually get a lot of EXP. Well, not a lot of EXP, you get a lot of crowns. Now, it is for this reason that I have seen some people get like over 100 Elo from a PvP match, and here, very clearly, this person has over 200 Elo. Now, based on the time, it looks like this was a surprise attack. This person probably took advantage of the other team not having hidden detection, or rushed them with hazmats, or something like that. But as you can see, with over 200 Elo, it looks like they were up against people who are much higher ranked than them, and they beat them. Now, this is based on Elo, and it's not based on the amount of wins that you have. So if the other person is like 16 wins but like 16 losses, it doesn't mean that they are a high Elo. Also, it looks like the developers have finally updated this leaderboard, or fixed it, sorry, to the point where I think it shows off people who are actually generals now, although I don't know if this is actually 100% accurate, but it looks like with the amount of wins that people are getting, like 97 to 24 losses, some people look like they are legitimate generals. However, this could be because of the fact that actually some people may have been not really abusing. It's not really their fault. You are matched against some people who are much higher ranked than you, and then you just win a load of Elo. But there is some cases where some people are getting up to 440 Elo just by winning a match against someone who's much higher ranked than them. Now, I don't know how this is possible. Maybe it's like a General 3 coming against an unranked person, right? And all of a sudden, bam, that's a loss of Elo for you. 440 Elo means that you're over 10% of the way there, and you can probably majorly rank up towards the next rank. And if you were at the lower ranks, you would actually automatically rank up to Private 3. And as it turns out, the developers have also fixed the issue where the Private 3 awards were not being rewarded. Previously, it would show up these as highlighted, but you wouldn't actually get them. You now actually do get the good luck, have fun sticker at Private 3. But what the developers have more importantly done is that they've limited the amount of Elo that you can get per game to 600 per match, and that they are also figuring out a better solution in the near future, which I think is a good thing, because what you could do, right, is get someone who's General 3 and somehow manipulate it so you verse them or something, or I don't know, or when you verse a General 3 and then you were to beat them, you would automatically get a load of Elo, meaning that you would quickly rank up. Which is why some people here, even though they have like only 200 or so wins, less than 200 wins, which I wouldn't expect to get a General 3 rank, they have a lot of Elo, hence why they are generals. Now, this means that these people are actually able to play on Fallen matches. In fact, it looks like 18 people are able to play on Fallen arenas, because you need to be at least the Major 1, and this is what the Major 1 icon looks like, and this is what the ranked people have, 18. Now here you can see some people have 9 wins and 0 losses, yet that's enough for Major 1 at least. It's again because some people were getting a load of Elo because they were beating high ranked players, while they're being a low elo and winning consistently. So that's why this person here has 9 wins, 0 losses, isn't major, at least a major 1. And you can see some people here, they have like 3 wins, 4 losses, but they're Lieutenant 1 at the very least. I don't know why this person's at the bottom being unranked. I don't know how that works. But yes, some people have, I wouldn't say abuse it again, because you can't manipulate it. I don't think you can. I did talk about manipulating general 1s or 2s to be in your group, but they can only be on the same team as you. And because of that, I don't think you get a load of elo by beating other players. And also, I think the developers should really figure out elo more quickly and make it so that the grind isn't so bad. Because me getting, what, how many elo per game? Like 10? And then like 3,000 elo for General 3. And plus the fact that you can also lose games. I don't think that's good. But yes, that means that at the very least, you have to play 50 games to get General 3 if you're consistently getting 60 elo per match, which I don't think many people are. So expect there to be a lot more games for you to at least get a General 1, as you can see here. Apart from that weirdness with that person who is at least like General 1 or 2, I think, with like a few wins, actually, to be fair. I think most of these people actually have over 100 wins to get General 1 at the very least, apart from this person. And even then, they have quite a high amount of losses. So, you know, losing isn't so bad. Like, all of these people have lost at least 10 times. I've only lost 6 times, as you can see here. But, yeah, the developers have limited the grind for PvP mode to make it even more worse, which, to be fair, again, I don't think it is fair that some people can get 10 elo or even 1 elo, and then other people can get up to 450 elo. But yeah, fair enough. Then on Twitter, Below Natural says, so who's going to get to the Fallen Arena first? Now this was 2 days ago, implying that 2 days ago, not many players were in Fallen Arena, and now it looks like 18 players are actually able to play the Fallen Arena. Now I'm not sure what happens if you were to invite a General 1 and then a Private 3, like me, into the same party. Would that mean that I'm playing a Fallen mode match? Or, well, a Fallen Arena match in PvP mode? I think I would, because last time I did check it with previous PvP testing, they were automatically upgraded. So it looks like I might be able to play Fallen mode matches, arenas, sorry, if I play with another person who's capable of it. Furthermore, Below Natural says, should we lower the skip prices for the Surf and Turf Battle Pass? Now, do bear in mind that, ironically enough, the developers did increase the skip prices once they saw my video explaining how you could kind of abuse the system, because for some reason the skip all prices was much higher than individual skip level prices. Now I'm going to assume that everyone voted yes, yeah, 88.2% to 11.8%. But that does mean that some people who already bought the entire Surf and Turf Battle Pass are probably going to be very, very pissed, given the fact that they've bought the entire Game Pass when it could have been cheaper, which I assume is the majority of players who voted no. That's about 100 or so players, or 200 or so players. I'd imagine they'll be very pissed because they're not going to get refunds. These developers, or Tower Defense Simulator, doesn't normally send out refunds for price adjustments. We've seen this with the coin costs when it comes to some of the tower prices when they increase or decrease. But they kind of sometimes do. I do believe for one of the developer products, I believe it was the Game Master Crook Boss, when that was first added, there was an issue where some people were able to buy that or didn't get the skin after they bought it, and some people bought that more than once, I think, and the developers did actually refund it from what I can see. But then other times, for example, I bought one of the Duck Hunts in 2023 Battle Passes levels more than once due to a glitch with the developer product, and I was never refunded for that. So I think overall, when it comes to developer products, I'm down about 2,000 Robux, which I'm not really complaining about. It's just a lot of people would complain about this one if they decrease the prices for the Surf and Turf Battle Pass. And I think the only reason why the developers are going to nerf the skip prices for the Surf and Turf Battle Pass is purely because in PvP mode, you don't get any event currencies. And that means that the entire time from the PvP Season 0, sorry, actually, it starts at Season 0, from the day that it starts to the day it ends, it encompasses the entire Surf and Turf Battle Pass. Now, you cannot skip any of the ranks in the PvP Season 0 Battle Pass. This is unlike the Surf and Turf Battle Pass. Now, if you're grinding out PvP mode, you are unable to get any event currency. So, towards the end of the Surf and Turf Battle Pass, I think that not a lot of players would actually have gotten the entire Battle Pass. Hence why I think the developers are proposing they decrease the prices of the skip stuff, because they know a lot of players are probably going to be mad that they're grinding out PvP mode, or the developers are incentivizing grinding up PvP mode while knowing that you can't get the Surf and Turf Battle Pass rewards because you don't get the event rewards from it. The developers have also fixed endless mode in Molten Arena, saying that you should see more than one enemy type. Not entirely sure what enemy type was spammed after Wave 31. I don't think it was the Champion Templar over and over again. It might have just been like a Molten Guardian. Or Molten Titan, sorry, over and over again. The developers have said that they fixed the Champion Templar badge. They're saying that you'll get the badge if you actually defeat it now, as opposed to getting the badge after your first match win, which that's how I got it. And you can see from the discrepancy of the players who have it, so that's 13,156 players who has the Champion Templar badge to 34,251, the one ever counts being about 30,000 off. It kind of shows that, yes, the developers have fixed this. However, the developers have claimed to also fix ranked win badge rewarding. And as you can see here, it's 0. I don't think they fixed it because since the developers have made this message yesterday at 1 o'clock, so over a period of 24 hours, nearly 36 hours, you're suggesting to me that nobody has played a ranked match and won it? I really doubt it. So the developers have said something which they have not fixed whatsoever.